5 today. We're missing Garrett, aka David Sachs. So unfortunately, we got Garrett for very good reason. Will not be joining us today.
Fresh off the wedding, we were all hanging out celebrating the big man. So if you haven't already given Garrett a congrats, then
give
you definitely should.
Give him a nudge in the IG DMs or something.
Yep.
Where's he going on his honeymoon? Do you guys know?
They're like all over the world.
International, right?
They're going
Thailand, Poland, England, and Greece.
They're about to circumnavigate, I believe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, man, for sure. So yeah, the wedding was really fun. It was awesome. Like honestly, it's like kind of like a mini family reunion, basically, and such good seeing everyone. Okay, most underwhelming part by a mile was Corey's lack of knowledge of the banger Taylor Swift songs.
Which ones?
See, the fact that you even
I know Taylor Swift.
The fact
I'm a Taylor Swift fan. I would say I'd go out on a limb and say that.
Like very underwhelming performance on a "You Belong with Me" love story. Come on.
Oh, everyone knows "Love Story." Was I saying I didn't know that?
I saw a big lack of words coming out of the ears.
That might have been the white wine talking at one point, unfortunately.
Ooh, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So let us know what we can help you guys out with on Amazon.
Stallion dropped
some questions in there.
Dallas today. That's awesome.
Good work.
Stallion's in the Carolinas too. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he is though. Survive. I'm about to hand out smoke on the basketball court too right after this.
Are you?
Oh my gosh, I've been feeding.
How did it go with that dude from Twitter last week?
Oh, he was cool. He was super cool. He was not prepared to make decisions with the ball in his hand, so he's in trouble in one-on-one. But he he's a team player. European, what you'd expect. Like grew up playing basketball the right way.
Nice.
That is correct, Chris. Does Chris need an invite here?
Chris, I'll email you it over. Yeah, I'll email you over.
If you're around, come hop on, Chris.
Chris, I just submitted both of those things. You're right.
Yeah, Corey.
I'm not ashamed of either of those.
A Swiftie and a wine guy.
Not ashamed of either of those things.
Yeah, we got the Corey wife reveal too.
That is true. I'm pretty sure Ashley and her are best friends now or something like that.
Yeah, she said she was a fan of both Ashley and Olivia. So
yep.
Good vibes all around.
Any recommendations for East Coast prep centers? I could Google, but a lot of them suck. So our best recommendation for that is you're gonna get the best results from a referral within the community, which could be someone you meet online. Our buddy Chris has a really good. He's probably gonna join. Honestly, I just emailed him the invite, but he has a good one to get started with on his or a good list of them on his website, which I would recommend starting there, man.
There's one that I could vouch for as well. So East Coast Prep and Ship is run by one of our buddies, David Jacobs. They started up I think about a year ago, and they do really well for OA sellers. So that's an option to look into. I think it's just like East Coast Prep and Ship.com.
He was showing love for G-Body's wedding too.
Yeah. David's a really good dude, and I know they do good work over there.
Yeah. So the cake was fire too. No ice cream cake, which is kind of an L. But other than that, the cake was really good.
I've never seen ice cream. Have you ever seen an ice cream cake at a wedding? That'd be kind of lit, actually.
Is it? Oh, I don't know. I think people see ice cream cake as like a kind of
like a kid's birthday kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I think of. I think of like a 6-year-old.
Are you gonna have ice cream cake at yours, Miles? Is that the vibe?
I'm gonna be fighting for it. I can tell you that much. I'm gonna be fighting for it. I can tell you that much. What's up,
Chris?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Chris?
Chris, I saw you just dropped the podcast with Jeff. That was cool. I didn't know you had known Jeff for a while. We're gonna get him on Buy Box Bandits as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that'll be a great interview.
Sweet. So, do you want to describe his business because it's pretty cool, and then plug the episode too because everyone should listen to that as well.
Oh yeah. So the guy. 2019, he was doing $8 million a year between OA and retail arbitrage. Between 2019 and 2020, he went from 8 million to 25 million or 22 million in 1 year. I mean, took advantage of COVID and just absolutely crushed. But he's kept it up at 25 to 26 million a year since then. And this is making sure that he gets home and like tucks his kid into bed every single night, spends a couple of months a year at one of his rental properties during ski season. It's incredible what he's been able to build.
So listen, that's
awesome. That's a dream.
Literally just uploaded that. Well, it's not a dream. You can do it. definitely not a dream.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a dream for most. Let's put it that
very
way.
important. How you talk is very important. Yeah. You can do it. Any word on Nike on Gate? Ooh, okay. So interesting news. Also, very, very just in general, proud of the stream chat for how many people have already gone ahead and done a lot of that stuff, which is cool because we're getting asked about it a lot less than I would expect, which obviously we're happy to answer regardless. So, okay, about a week ago, for new sellers, we thought the world was ending. They gated Hoka, Disney, Nike, and then Adidas was gated about 2-3 weeks ago. The Adidas one is completely lifted. Anyone can apply, and everyone that was previously approved got approved, right? Disney, about a day later, they just said, fuck it, everyone's back, right? So I haven't checked. I don't have any word on Hoka specifically. So Hoka and Nike are currently gated for new sellers. We think it's because of counterfeits. It's probably not a brand specific thing. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done, Hoka and Disney at the same time. But the problem is that could be it might mean that new sellers might never be able to sell that stuff, or it could be another temporary thing similar to the past couple things that have happened with that. Because you brought up a really good point on that podcast we talked about, Chris, that they've emailed in the past when they've been doing stuff like that.
Seems like another email actually just came out. I just saw from somebody.
Breaking.
A couple hours ago, someone got an email that says, we're contacting you because you're selling or have sold Nike products. Because of customer experience, we want to make sure that, let's see. We want to make sure.
Yeah, is it a CSM review?
Oh, that's been going on for years, man.
They're asking for.
I have one right now.
Receipts.
I would say a lot of current Nike sellers have CSM reviews, which makes me think that they're just trying to keep it with legit sellers. You're definitely going to get one if you haven't already, Miles.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm trying to fight.
Those are actually pretty easy to beat. Yeah.
I get those. Like at least once a quarter. I've even had them where it's like I get them, and then a couple of days later they're like, "All right, we're back for more."
So that's a good sign to me that they're sending that, and not the email where it's like you guys are all done. Like they're just trying to make sure that all the people who last year there was a big issue with like all the Turkish and international sellers all doing like fake Nike socks and stuff. It's bad. It like crushed the market, and so. Seems like they're just trying to weed out all those people who got through the gate.
Because I do think there's a lot of pressure on Amazon, like from the FTC and other government bodies to like police counterfeit. So I know for a fact that's something they've been putting a lot of resources into. So it probably wouldn't be shocking if there was another like similar scare like this or multiple, just due to everything Amazon's trying to do to police the marketplace.
Yeah.
Jeff and Andy just got caught with a secret signal chat.
Yeah, something like
Jeff and Andy did, you said?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So the interesting thing is, so obviously because we sell products to Amazon sellers, right, tools, etc. We're obviously all heavily incentivized to be optimistic about this, but I am realistically, I think substantially more optimistic for new sellers compared to where we were when we filmed that podcast about 5 days ago, because they lifted the Disney one, lifted the Adidas one. Is kind of my thoughts.
It seems like our worst case scenario now is that Nike and Hoka stays gated. That's probably our worst case scenario. And then they just weed out people with some CSM reviews if you're buying from fake suppliers, that kind of stuff.
Which sucks if you're a new seller and is incredibly good if you are already.
If you're an existing seller, then
which is why there's no better time to start than like yesterday, right? Like if you're sitting on the sidelines and you're listening to this and you haven't created a seller account yet, or you haven't gotten a lot of your own gates done, or you're just like sitting on the sidelines period, this should be a sign to like get in now, because it's still really good and it's only going to get better in a lot of ways.
And you get better. That's the key, is that you get better way quicker than any outside factors can affect you. Obviously rule changes happen and stuff yearly, but you get better. You just need to start that compounding process a lot quicker. Banishing everyone to the shadow realm. No. If anything, they're trying to help the people already selling.
Yeah, they just want legit sellers help. I saw a lot of questions about like CSM reviews and stuff. So if you guys haven't had that before, it's basically like usually like you'll sell one product, customer leaves a bad review or something like that, and then they'll just look in and make sure that it's usually like a week. In the next week, submit documents from where you bought this product from this brand. If you don't pass, then you're not allowed to sell this brand anymore. If you do, then you're fine. And so they're sending a lot of those out to Nike people, which makes me think that they're just trying to weed out a lot of the counterfeiters. So if you get one, there'll be an ASIN at the bottom of that email. Just submit all the tracking number, the order confirmations, all the entire paper trail, anything you can for that product, and then you'll be set.
And the cool thing with that, guys, is that is not a submission through Seller Central. It's an email.
Yeah, it's
so
an
you
email.
can send it 50 times a day if you want to.
I want to say it's a little higher IQ of a team as well.
Way
Like all the conversations I have with CSM they're very rarely templates. Like they're actually legitimate. Like, oh, I need to fix this about the documents. You're right. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So what I would recommend doing for that, y'all, honestly, so typically from my experience, I've gotten it 10 plus times. If you're doing anything over like couple $100 grand in sales a year, you'll get, which is totally fine. That's a good thing. That helps your listings because we can easily beat it. You have documentation you need, just the receipts and such, right? Like at this point, I've probably used over 500 email receipts to beat different inauthentic complaints and CSMs, etc. So it's part of it. But y'all notice like this was probably a lot of your guys' first times hearing about the CSM brand reviews. It doesn't happen super often. It's like a niche thing. You're going to get 2 or 3 ASINs on there that you need to submit for. Toss in some other receipts from other ASINs too, a variety of suppliers. Make it easy for them to say yes, right? And then the key though is that you don't just submit once. If you're really a dog, you submit like 3 times on the hour, all waking hours, and guarantee that you get it. So that's what I do with it, honestly.
So Chris had a good question here I want to address because I feel like this happens to people from time to time. So he said basically he bought products, he's already paid for them, and he goes to list them on Amazon, and Amazon's asking for a transparency code, but what he bought doesn't have the code. So Chris, you're not going to be able to list under those ASINs period if they don't have the transparency codes on them. So best bet is to sell them on eBay, or if there's another listing that isn't transparency enabled, you could try to sell on that, but chances are there's probably not.
And make sure to check that product closely because the transparency code's really small usually. And sometimes it will be on there.
Yeah, it's typically like you'll see that on like wholesale type products where they have heavy counterfeit, sells really fast, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wanted to update you guys. When we talked last time, I looked at like Jordan and Converse. Jordan seems to be ungated for me again.
Whoa.
Because I never got ungated.
Chris. Let me check.
I just checked just a minute ago.
Yo. All right.
I don't think I was ever ungated in Jordan.
Check Converse too if either of you don't have it, or if you're in chat and you're gated in Converse, let us know if it's still locked
chat.
off.
I'm dropping ASINs for y'all to check. Okay. So this is primarily for new sellers. For those brands, we haven't had any proof of existing sellers getting essentially regated. All right, Jordan, shoot. Let's see. Okay, Chris, drop me a Jordan ASIN because the one I sent was gated.
All right.
Can you mind dropping?
Yeah, I'm even restricted in Nike. I can't even apply for Nike.
Yeah, that's still the
skill
case.
issue there.
Yeah,
after all we've been through. No, I'm kidding.
No, I've always been gated in Nike anyways. I've never been ungated.
Okay, so that Jordan ASIN I dropped in the chat actually isn't under the Jordan brand. Apologies. So that was
that's a scale issue, Miles. Skill issue.
Okay, all right. So it appears that so
Coupon said gated.
Shit, Jordan store, man. I'm good to go.
Well, it doesn't let you apply coupons. That's the thing we're trying to figure out.
So, Chris, the problem is that's a Nike ASIN. If you look at the brand on SellerAmp, that's a Nike ASIN.
Interesting, because it says.
It says Jordan store.
This one's weird. It's branded under Jordan on Amazon, but Nike in the listing. I'll look a little bit deeper.
We're making ourselves look very professional here today. Well, y'all stick with us.
Okay, I mean, on the topic of stuff that we're getting a million questions about, did you guys look at your low inventory fees yet?
I got to do that as well.
Because I pulled it this morning. I was expecting a nightmare, and it was not at all.
Yeah, mine were not nearly as bad as I thought. In fact, a lot of our products don't even qualify for the low inventory fees. So
interesting. Yeah.
At least on our end, it's not as big of a deal as I think a lot of people expected. I think it just depends on your catalog, types of products you carry, how good your supply chain is, whether you're able to get more quickly. Depends on a lot of things, but I think it's not as bad as people expected.
We do a ton of like base hit types items, like VAs are finding it, so we're buying 20 of a whole bunch of stuff, right? and I expected that to get kind of crushed a little bit margin wise from that, but it's like $30 in fees or something on the whole month so far.
All right,
It was literally $36. Like you could like forget about that. Like,
and your catalog's just about as big as
I was prepared for it to be like 1,000 or 2, and then I could work out how to make it work with the numbers. And no, it was literally $36.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta. That's interesting. Like, because your catalog is gonna be bigger than anyone's, and you're gonna have.
Right. I expected it to be really bad for our model, but it was fine. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
When I talked to Perry and Kim, they said less than 5% of their inventory is going to get hit. So
that's crazy. Yeah.
That's good, because y'all see like how a lot of people have been worried about that. So that's going to weed out weak competition as well. So that's good for everyone sticking with the gang and such. Yeah. Just rip some Celsius, Warner, and fix it. Yeah.
Easy fix.
I'm pretty sure drinking Celsius is way worse than seed oil. I'm gonna be real with you.
I'm not to keep it a buck. I've never had one, so I have no idea. Variation that on a interesting GST. Interesting. Chad is chill tonight. Yeah. Oh, Jules.
Chad's hanging out.
We've been missing you, family. Yeah.
We got Jules. We got Stallion. We got Elijah. We got Sadiq.
We've got buckets about to be handed out. I got people tweeting at me from the gym telling me to come. I'm like, boys, let me stream.
So Tony, DM me again. We spoke at Miami. You closed Diablo. If I missed that, I apologize. Yeah, DM me again, and I'll get back to you.
Cool, sweet guys. Let us know in the chat where you're based as well. Like we literally hung out with like 15 Amazon seller friends this weekend. Like you got to find sellers to connect and mastermind with. Like, drop your locations in the chat. We would love to help you find and connect with other people as well. Yeah, Converse still hard game. That's what I'm seeing too. Okay. GSD.
You guys want to build a seller networking map? People can upload where they are and then see.
That would be sick. Yeah.
The problem is the quality control. Like, I'm all for it, but
that's true.
Is the QC,
make people pay $1. We'll use the Elon method.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Damn. All right. Well, okay. This is love. Hello. Way more people respond to that than typically do. So go through the chat and
seriously.
A couple North Carolina.
Yeah. Tampa.
We got Asheville,
Arkansas, Amelia.
Northern North Carolina.
Austin. We're in Arkansas.
I'm
from Northwest.
Minnesota. Oh yeah, Minnesota. I didn't even know there was a part of Arkansas that wasn't Northwest. Keeping a buck with you, but
well, you got basically it's rice fields, Northwest, and Little Rock. That's Arkansas.
Okay, Little Rock.
Yeah.
Little Rock, I've heard it too. And I made a few sales, but very encouraging to ski. It's scary to dive into. So Dustin, imagine telling your great grandpa or great grandpa, who most likely fought in a world war, that you're afraid to print the wealth with the boys. Man, it's not scary. Just start super, super low risk. Sell some books if you want to risk no capital. You can get a lot of books for free to sell. That's what we all did when we were getting started. And just build the skill over time, man. Like, this should be a fun thing you do. You know what I mean? It's not scary. Delaware.
There's a few Charlotte here.
Nice. No tax.
Manu's in Raleigh. I knew that. Yeah, we got a few Charlotte people in here. That's cool.
Yeah.
Someone from Texarkana. I didn't know that was a real place.
I'm keeping the Buckeye.
No, yeah, it is.
yeah.
It's very real.
I thought that was like a because I still have a lot to learn. Thanks for the input. Well, it's only scary if you make it scary, though. My biggest sellers are seed oils. Oh, we need to check the morals on that, Bruce. But you got to get your bag, though. You got to.
Profit's not worth it.
There was a couple questions we missed earlier too. I'll make sure. When you get around to the repricer, that Bulldog, you're on the call the other night. You got good energy. Like, you should get one right away. For most people, like, once you do your first couple $1,000 in sales,
Bulldog
when it makes sense.
You can use the extended trial that the roadmap has as well in the software deals section. Do you guys know if Amazon accepts PayPal invoices for counterfeit claims? Just wondering, because I met a wholesaler that uses PayPal. So the interesting thing is that's an interesting, you don't run into too many wholesalers that take PayPal. See if they'll give you a separate invoice too, though, ideally. Like, maybe, but like, I prefer they give you separate documentation as well.
You just want to make sure like their information's on it, right? Like, Amazon's going to look at that invoice and more than likely reach out to the supplier. So you got to make sure that like you can tell who the supplier is in the invoice.
Yep.
If so, what tips do you have as I start my own? Damn, Elijah, good for you, man. So to my knowledge, Chris, you don't have any private label, right?
Not anymore. I have done a couple of private label brands over the years, though.
Cool. Okay.
Did any of them work for a while, or was it just like
One of
half
them did
projects?
until Amazon told me I wasn't allowed to sell that kind of product. It was
Gotcha.
a weapon.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It was a monkey fist. You guys ever heard of a monkey fist?
I don't think so.
No.
Just a steel ball wrapped in paracord that you attach to your keychain.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Okay.
it
It's
was
like
nice.
it's like a
Whatever.
self-defense thing, then.
Yeah, whatever works, man.
Yeah.
Any new Amazon seller events you are going to? So in about 2 weeks, the Mundo Amazon event in Miami. That is for primarily Spanish speakers, though. So I'll be the only English speaker there, and that is popping though if you're in the Miami area and speak Spanish, or want to see me speaking English and a bunch of other people speaking Spanish. And then
you should try Spanish.
yeah,
Come watch Miles.
I feel like that wouldn't go over that
broken,
well.
talking broken Spanish.
Vendedor de Amazon. And then we'll all be at ASD. Chris, you might have to make the Vegas trip, man. You really might have.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Chris, you'll have to. That'll be a lot of fun. I mean, there'll be a lot of stuff going on at ASD this time around. I mean, multiple events going on. Obviously, lots of buying opportunities if you're doing wholesale. Just really fun event. So I think it'll be a good time.
Yep. So that's in Las Vegas at the start of August this year. It was the end of August last year. And then a couple weeks after that, presumably, I will be. I hope you guys all will be at Amazon United as well, which is either the first couple of days of September or last couple of days of August. I can't remember. That's in Jersey City. So for all the East Coast people, it's really accessible for you guys. So love to meet you guys there as well.
Yeah, every hour you spend at ASD or / Vegas after like 72 hours, though, you lose 5% of your sanity. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're booking flights.
Yeah, two nights is kind of perfect for ASD, really.
That's a fact. Unless you're grubbing the room service with cousin Jimmy FBA at 4 a.m. now. That's a lot. But I remember like the day before we left, or the 2 days before we left, I called him at like 1 a.m. And I was like, bro, like, come on, you got to come. And then he made it by 8 a.m.
Yeah, you just spawned.
Obviously, I'll let him and cousin Steven stay with me per usual.
Going to my very first ASD, I bought the ticket at 1 a.m. in the morning and left at like 7 a.m. the next morning.
That's what's up.
It was the best decision I ever made in my life.
Yeah.
That's a vibe.
That's
so
awesome.
Was that like 2018 or something, or when was that?
Probably earlier than that, maybe 2017.
Damn. Yeah, they've been.
We ran into this crew of guys at the most recent ASD in March or April, whenever it was. There was like 9 guys. A lot of them were in college. Some of them were like seniors in high school, and they had like just started selling on Amazon. They just got a big Airbnb, all just like flew up together, and we're just like, we're here figuring it out. I'm like, that's
the world is built. The world is built by people like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Does it vary with each person signing up? So Acito, almost everyone, I mean, for those brands specifically, basically everyone. So you'll have to ungate those. I really appreciate Flows from Miles. I really appreciate you, Zane. That's love. Just go to their websites. Like if you Google the names, you'll find them.
What thermal printers do you guys recommend? I always use a Rollo back in my
the new meta is like the Polono, right? That's the like $60 one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that new?
Yeah, it's like the cheapest one on Amazon right now.
Get your free labels from UPS too.
Until the private label printer drops, that is.
Yes, that is also true as well. So yeah, guys, you can get these for free. Just get them on the UPS website. Google UPS free shipping supplies, and you can get those free. There's also some stuff on USPS as well. Y'all all want to make sure you're taking advantage of that stuff too. Don't be spending money that you don't need to.
We found a good deal on shoes, and there's like 100 different sizes. How do you choose which one to get? Maverick, go on to Keepa and then filter the variations down to ones that are actively gaining at least like a couple ratings, and then just filter by like highest price. So just sort by current, go down the list and buy the ones that are in stock.
Thoughts on small and light products for OA/RA? If you mean in the formal term, that doesn't exist on Amazon anymore. However, in the coming weeks, back to school is going to kick off, and a ton of crayons will be really good. And then other types of small products like beauty stuff's good year round.
Yeah, it was weird. They made it better for like 3 months, and they're like, just kidding, small and light's gone. They raised the minimum price and then delete it.
And how would I know what I can and can't sell? So Acito, pretty much any brand you recognize, you're going to have to get the invoice for. Luckily, it's very easy to do. And most small brands you don't recognize, you'll be good to go from day one. So for example, if any of you guys are brand new, Go try and list a ColourPop product. Go try and list a Bernat yarn product. Go try and list an And1 clothing product. And pretty much all those will let you go from day one. And then now you can storefront stock off those listings to find other Ungate products too.
So Shay asked earlier, how do we find Amazon events or conferences? Are there any websites or links? So Shay, not really. I mean, it's pretty much just like being plugged into the community, like being active on social media, coming to streams like these, and just kind of asking around. People are going to tell you what events they're going to, because a lot of us tend to go to the same events, and they end up being a good time. So that's just kind of keep an ear out.
Yeah, just get in the mix in the community. If you're following a ton of Amazon sellers, like you'll be able to find a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Jacob with the worst take on YouTube today. Lakers in 7. Not going to happen.
That's a crazy take.
Let's see. Nuggets, Lakers. What's the score?
Jacob, I got my entire list of every product I've sold on that, brother.
Oh, it's 3-1. Oh, okay. 10 p.m. tonight. All right. Interesting.
Appreciate you, Jacqueline. That's love. Making it clear cut. Yeah.
The event in Vegas called ASD. ASD. Yeah. Just look up ASD Las Vegas and you'll find it.
ASD Market Week, I guess, is technically what it's called. And I think it's free to register, right? It's completely free to register as a buyer. You just get your plane ticket, you get your hotel, you show up, you walk the floor, you talk to 20 to 30 vendors each day. You do that for 2 days, and you leave with a lot of really good opportunities. So it's not as difficult or probably as intimidating as a lot of people think it might be.
And don't forget about other things. The amount of vendors at the beach this past weekend was insane. There were so many brands at somebody there. There would be no other Amazon sellers at this Jeep event that was in town when I was at the beach this past weekend.
You were Chad Scale on the beach?
Yeah, just took the kids, get them away, get them out of school for a day or so.
That's well. Nuggets in 5. Okay. Have you seen fake track numbers but are not delivered even though it shows to be? 3 orders from okay. So yeah. Luckily you'll be able to get your money back as a result of that. Occasionally.
Yep. Food expiration date is June 21st. Typically everything's minimum 90 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 90 days plus the consumption amount.
90 days plus, yeah.
Yeah, so if it's a supplement and that supplement has, let's say, 180 servings, right, or 180 days worth, then it's that 90 plus 180 days. So when you get to selling supplements and stuff like that, it's a little trickier than just like the expiration date.
Do you have any ways of increasing the amount of reviews you get? The biggest lever by a mile is just selling more products. Reviews are kind of an overrated metric. Like they definitely don't hurt, but they help a lot less than people think. Like if you're selling good products, even if you created your account yesterday and they're FBA, they're going to fly.
Yeah. Whoa.
Tony dropping a
legend.
20 for you.
Okay.
So
everyone go follow Tony on Twitter. No flip, no future. He's a hairless cat. Bolo the hairless cat.
I told him, I texted him today. I said Bolo needs its own Instagram.
I thought it was a bit until he showed pictures. And I was like, no, that's
Bolo's
hairless cat
legit.
named Bolo.
Yeah, Bolo's legit.
Congrats on 6 figs, Tony. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Congrats.
Just wait till back to school. You're gonna drop 100 pieces.
Yeah, it's gonna be 100 during just back to school. Yeah,
so somebody said
4 to 6 weeks.
What if the invoice does not have the address on it from where you got the products? And then it's not going to work, right? It's got to have the supplier's full information. So company name, address, everything about them that Amazon can kind of go in and verify. Yeah, that's Polo.
He sends me like pictures of it like climbing over Kohl's boxes and stuff like.
So if it's not 90 days, you cannot list it. Not FBA, Hosta. I'd assume you can FBM it, but you probably have some unhappy customers still.
Yeah, you could FBM that. If it was, I mean, if it's something that is going to take them even a week or two to eat, I would not want to send it to them.
The only thing that would be reasonable for is like a little Debbie type thing where it always has short expiration dates.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's definitely ethically gray.
Yes.
If you're slinging little Debbies.
Yes. W Tony Body, yes sir. Do you sell your spreadsheets? No. One-on-one, yeah. Do you check the link in the description for that? Roadmap says to use Frontier Co-op, but you have to have an LLC to create a profile. Yeah. So the cool thing is, Maverick, all big websites these days are nice and like any website you recognize, you're going to be good to go. I assume you're probably looking to do beauty or grocery. Check out Target for that. The Yogi Tea should be good, or beauty categories typically auto ungate these days as well, which did not used to be the case.
So Carrie, that's a good question here. When looking at variations, what's more important, ratings or offer count? So, I mean, really, you want to use them both as a data point. If that offer count is constantly going up and down, people are coming in and out of stock, then it's definitely selling. If you see that and you see the number of reviews for that specific variation going up as well, then it's clear that it's selling, right? People are buying it because people are going out of stock and then they're leaving reviews. So if both of those things are there, it's a good sign.
And not to like make it confusing, but keep in mind how old that variation is in relation to the other variations as well. You know, so if it's 100 days old for that variation and the other ones are 3,000 days old and it's got one rating on the 100-day old variation and the number of sellers is moving a little bit, it may actually be selling pretty quickly.
Now the tea is going back, blaming the wife for wrong flavor. Yeah, blame the wife, blame the VA. Yeah.
Any tips for low ticket wholesale ASINs? So if you're selling like cheap wholesale products, you're probably going to want to do the prep yourself, or at least like have your own warehouse, because using a prep center for a sale price under $15 or even up to $20, that's going to cut a lot into your margin. So just keep your operating expenses down if you're going to be selling low cost products.
Can you compete against the buy box as a new seller? If Amazon sharing that buy box for that listing, Warner, you want to demo the new SellerAmp update too as well?
Sure. I mean, it's just the keep it data, but we can definitely dive into it.
Yeah, I mean, people on Twitter were showing love. Should this new SellerAmp update that just dropped, y'all. We just got it added in.
Yeah, let's see it.
I'm getting it up here. All right. So it's gonna be really useful for you guys when you're trying to figure out like seasonal sales, all that kind of stuff. If you want to throw me up there, Miles.
Cool. Yes, absolutely. Get Corey out of here.
I've been using like advent calendars and stuff as an example. Corey getting the boot.
As always.
So what you can do is use this middle chart. There'll be a monthly sold chart. Naturally, it's the last thing that's loading. There we go. Sweet. So monthly sold right here is going to show up based on it'll show seasonal sales now too, basically. So like this advent calendar, obviously right now it's not selling at all. Like there's no sales showing. So it's 50. During the peak of November, when people are buying the most advent calendars, it says 10,000 plus a month, right? So next Christmas, when we're all looking at toys and chocolates and shoes and all that kind of stuff, you're going to see where that graph shoots up every single year. And instead of assuming 2,000 sales a month, you can assume it's going to sell 10,000 times a month. So I should stock up way deeper. This is also per variation. So on this chart right here, as you guys are looking at shoes, clothes, that kind of stuff, this chart is for that variation. So if you see it says like 200 for that variation, then it definitely moves. If you look at it, and what it'll do is there's just no monthly sold right there. When it's under 50, that's just kind of how the data works for now. Then it's probably a slower selling variations. You can dive into some other stuff to see if it actually sells. But those are two pretty good applications for you guys. So it's already live on your SellerAmp, so go dive in.
Oh,
that monthly sold metric, the fact that that's specific to each variation is huge, right? Yeah, that takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, because previously the only thing we had to go off of was, like we said, reviews and offer count. So that it just makes it a lot more
one more thing to check. Yeah. I would assume those numbers get more accurate, and we have some cool ideas how to make it even more useful that we'll hopefully be throwing on there.
I have and send it. Is that how to get negated? Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, just do Nike Advance, Cito, any big brand. Yeah, that's just how you do it from a big supplier. I have 4,000 to get started. I have Keepa and SAS. Where should I start? You're in the right place. I mean, watching our YouTube video is going to be the best place to start. Getting in the free Discord that's linked below. If you want formal help, we can obviously help out with that too. But it's just getting in the game and starting to make stuff happen.
Eric said, when hiring from the Philippines, do you guys offer 3 weeks of paid time off? Is that the standard? So for me, we don't have any like set policy on like, oh, you only have X amount of days of paid time off. Usually with my team, I trust them. So if they need to take time off, they just ask and I let them have it. And usually, I always pay them for their time off. So they'll get bonuses each quarter and another bonus at the end of the year, but that's kind of how we treat it.
Yeah, mine have 5 paid vacation days they can use whenever, and then 5 paid sick days. That's how we do it.
Best sites for online arbitrage. Yeah, if you're a beginner, don't worry about looking for places to source. Look for products to source via storefront stocking and keep a product finder. And then eventually you're going to learn your favorite websites. And that's where you're going to do manual sourcing, Matt. Keep track of VA hours.
You don't really want to be tracking VA hours. You can.
It's more so about results. It's just about results.
Yeah. Because you'd rather have the one person who works 6 hours and makes you twice as much money as the guy who works 10. So just track the profit from the leads they found, or if it's an admin VA, you're looking at the cases and they're actually getting all the stuff done. Like if everything's, in line, like that's what you really care about.
Dude, I have like
you
a
guys
genuine.
give all the holidays off?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. There's like an
all the
official
Filipino holidays too.
Look up like the list. There's like a website. It's like a government of Philippines official holidays, and then a lot of times they'll like their politicians actually know how to get some good votes because they'll give people like days off and stuff.
They have so many
just
holidays.
Be on top of
it's
that.
crazy.
Yeah. Last
They
year,
have
I'm
one
pretty
this
sure
Friday.
last year I'm pretty sure they gave them like 3 or 4 extra paid days off, and it was all just from the president to look good. But I mean that's why don't we get that over here?
Right.
Random days off. That's pretty sick.
Any advice for gambling addicts? Need to get the blood flowing a little bit. Do some retail arbitrage, man. Get out in the real world a little bit.
It's
Sell on some generic listings.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, if you're a gambler, sell on only listings with one other seller, generic branded.
Yeah, don't do that.
Got kicked out of the Puma outlet after showing them the resale certificate for tax exempt. That just sounds like a store that doesn't want to make money. That's not standard. So don't let that intimidate you. Don't let that cause you to not do that at other stores. Just realize that manager is probably a little crazy and it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm. That's the local manager who's been crapped on their whole life. They don't think you can do anything. Like they want everyone else brought down with them. Most managers
he's salty that the dude trying to buy those shoes is about to make her weekly salary in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
When I did a bunch of retail arbitrage, I'd always ask ahead of time, and I was like, hey, what, do you take a resale certificate? If they say no, I'm like, all right, no problem. If they say yes, like, great, I'm about to spend a ton of money here, so I'll let you know when I'm done. And that usually helps.
Facts. All right. Appreciate everyone tapping in. One of the more kind of intricate and specific Q&As I think we've ever had, specifically for Monday Monday. So appreciate everyone asking really, really good questions tonight.
Yeah.
Great Money Monday.
Yeah, really, really specific stuff. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you're following all these guys and Garrett, even though he's not with us tonight, on social media. DM's always open if you have any questions. Let me know how crazy I'm about to go pick up basketball here in about 15 minutes and such, and have a great night.
All right, guys. See ya.
See y'all.